Hello, welcome to another edition of Ask a Paranormal Investigator. Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. Who doesn't love a ghost? But how many of you have been loved by a ghost? Well, I think we should probably start with, a couple of stories. We got some celebrities, such as, we got Anna Nicole Smith, we got Katy Perry, Keisha, several, celebrities that have come out over the last decade talking about how they have had romantic experiences with ghosts. Kind of strange. And of course, you used to always see this kind of thing in the Weekly World News back when that was a thing. But the internet is full of strange stories about ghost lovin'. So we probably ought to peel this back just a little bit and talk about what might actually be happening. Now, the obvious sort of a culprit in this would be sleep paralysis. Now, I'm sure that many of you recognize this particular image. Sleep paralysis has obviously been around as long as humans have been around. And what it is at night, your body kind of goes into a a paralyzed state. That way you don't act your dreams out, so to speak. It kind of protects you from getting hurt while you're dreaming. And your body gets kind of paralyzed so you can sleep through it. Now, it's not 100%, but the chemical that gets secreted into your body gives you a basic kind of paralysis. So you're kind of in the state of being almost awake, and your body hasn't released the paralysis yet. And it's very terrifying. Often you're going to sort of default to something cultural. It used to be demons. It used to be a troll was trying to steal your breath, or an old hag. For a long time, sleep paralysis was also known as hagging. So it's kind of a strange thing when, you get into this paralysis state and this old woman comes tromping into the room, and you can hear her footsteps as she steps closer to you, and you can't move. You could see her coming out of the corner of your eye, and every footstep is as loud as a really hard beat on a drum, and she gets closer and closer, and finally she gets up close to you and she strangles you. It can be pretty terrifying. In more recent years, say from the late 60s to currently, a lot of those sleep paralysis experiences have been alien abduction. The aliens come into the room, and I went through this when I had sleep paralysis. Aliens came in and started doing tests on me. They restrained me. I could see the whole thing. I felt like I was 100% awake, but I was paralyzed, and it was terrifying. But it was sleep paralysis. Now, a lot can be pointed to in this situation. I mean, you've got like a movie like The Entity, which is supposedly based on a true story. How Hollywood is. Not exactly, but sleep paralysis was the culprit behind this rape that happened to this woman. Now, of course, there'll be people, debating that for quite some time. We'll never know the exact truth, but that is the number one sort of suspect, we'll say, sleep paralysis. And, the legends of the succubus and the incubus, those are all basically stories of sleep paralysis. So that is definitely one of the big issues. Now, it's kind of strange because there have been other stories, other bizarre stories of these ghost romances. Now, one that came out just recently, October 14th, as a matter of fact, 2020, woman calls off wedding with ghost after he kept disappearing. Okay. So this woman is supposedly she's had multiple relationships with ghosts over the years, but in this particular one, um, she was on a trip to Australia in 2018, and she met this ghost, and they fell in love. And on the plane ride back to, I think she was in Great Britain. On the plane ride back to Great Britain, they consummated the relationship on the plane. Uh, okay. The problem is after that, the ghost started ghosting her. Now, for those of you that don't know, ghosting is when you have someone in your life, a friend, a coworker, whatever, that suddenly stops communicating with you. They just disappear. They fall off the edge of the earth, as it is. Um, that's called ghosting. Well, this ghost started ghosting her. And sometimes the ghost would seemingly come home drunk. Seems to have gotten in with a bad crowd and started doing drugs. I'm not really sure how a ghost does that, how a ghost does drugs. But that's the story here. And it just got worse and worse with this ghost's bad behavior until finally they had to call it quits, call off the engagement, and not get married. Now we've had stories of, you know, I carried Bigfoot's baby and, you know, all these other things. Sleep paralysis is not the main suspect in these cases. The main suspect in these cases would possibly be something psychological. It just seems to me that if Halloween is more like Valentine's Day for you, there might be a problem. You might need to sit down and talk with someone about it. There's all kinds of delusion and everything else. In my 30 years of paranormal investigation, there's never been evidence of a spirit, of a ghost, of a demon, of anything that could lead you to think that something like this could lead a relationship with any of these women or any of the men that have gone through these things. So when you've got the ones that are non-consensual and violent, that's a little more sleep paralysis. If it goes beyond that, then there may be some psychological issues there as well. But the main thing is you might want to sit down and talk to someone if this is you, if this is something that's going on with you. Seek some help, no matter what form that help takes. Seek some help. Don't just get in the tabloids unless you're just looking for your 15 minutes of fame. Hey, that's pretty common too. So that's it for today. I just had to address this article. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, as you might imagine. But I hope everybody has a fantastic Halloween. Hopefully I'll get to see you before then. And we'll look at more stuff on Ask a Paranormal Investigator. Please like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Do it. Put some action on this page and on this channel so we can keep it going. And have a great day.